All right, I'll Cinephile Mike here with day 39 of Award Season Review Season 2. And we are over the hump and will soon begin wrapping up this week's theme of the rest of the globes. Mostly. Like yesterday's John Wick Chapter 4, today's film is another box office smash that is part of an almost 30-year-old franchise. I am talking about the seventh film in Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible series, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Director Christopher McQuarrie has been with the franchise almost 10 years, having co-written the previous two entries in the franchise, 2015's Rogue Nation and 2018's Fallout, which was financially the most successful film in the franchise. And he has stayed on and has already completed and is in post-production on Dead Reckoning Part 2 that he directed and co-wrote that will be coming out in 2025. Now, these two films, these parts 7 and 8, he co wrote with Eric Jendresen, and now we're all wondering if this may be the end of the franchise. We're not sure, but it could be a possibility. Now, a box office hit, Dead Reckoning Part 1 holds the number 8 spot on the box office charts for 2023. It ended its theatrical run with $172,135,383 at the domestic box office, $395,400,000 in international box office, which is giving it a grand total of $567,535,383. This is a franchise that has consistently performed at the box office ever since the first film's $457,696,391 worldwide box office gross in 1996. And currently, after these 7 films, the franchise has made over $4 billion. Now, award season wise, it was nominated at the Golden Globes for Cinematic and Box Office Achievement, as was yesterday's John Wick. Neither of them won. At this point, we know that award went to Barbie. And it is competing against John Wick at the SAG Awards this year for Stunt Ensemble in a Motion Picture. It has also been recognized with a nomination from the Critics' Choice Awards for Best Visual Effects, and its journey may not be over in nominations because it is currently on 2 Oscar shortlists for Best Sound and for Best Visual Effects. We will see next week when Oscar nominations come out if it makes that cut. No other film in the franchise now to date has been Oscar nominated, but maybe this could be the first. We'll see. Okay, so anyone unfamiliar with the Mission Impossible franchise, we follow the adventures of Ethan Hunt, an IMF agent. I won't even spoil the acronym, although it is almost very obvious when they finally told us. Anyway, in this outing, which harkens back with, I have to say, some really nice Easter eggs to the first film. And yes, to understand this film, you do need to have knowledge of the franchise and the previous films. This one is not a standalone. Now, Ethan and his team in this one will have adventures in the Arabian Desert, Abu Dhabi, Rome, Venice, and a spectacular third act aboard the Orient Express. And for the first time, under the sea. Trying to solve a situation regarding a single 2-piece cruciform key that will control an artificial intelligence beyond any we have seen, we see Ethan fight an AI in the almost too scary way that we are battling AI right now. I mean, I do not say this lightly. This film, there were elements, it was a little too close to home and a little too relevant, a little scary. With it, just over 2.5 hour runtime, save the credits. Additionally, while fighting the AI, Ethan will also have to confront his past, thanks to the AI. Like they say in franchises, the past is not at rest and it will come back and haunt you. We will see how Ethan ended up right here in this film, understanding what brought him here from more than 30 years ago when he joined the IMF. Now, longtime franchise staples Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg provide their usual humor that could very well serve as its own spin-off. And they are joined by fresh-faced new entrant to the franchise, Haley Atwell, who gets to stretch some of those chops that unfortunately we could not really see her do in the MCU. Now, Cruz as Ethan and Atwell's Grace have impeccable comic timing that only goes on to sell some of the absurdity of this plot and yet true. McQuarrie knows how to keep the action moving in the films. This one's no exception. It doesn't quite capture all the magic of its predecessor, Fallout, but that could be because this, is split into two. We know it's being split into two, so he could be saving some of the bigger stuff for the finale. To its credit, while they do end on a cliffhanger, it is a very clean cliffhanger that won't have you screaming at the screen. They're able to resolve a lot of the side plots so that by the time the credits roll, your appetite is whetted for more, but you leave satisfied. Now, the final battle on the Orient Express calls back to the bullet train sequence from the first film, which is a nice touch. And as for that and the stunts, the nominations and recognition that this film is starting to garner regarding the visual effects and stunt work, they're warranted. It will be interesting to see how these films roll out as award season continues. The nice element of this franchise is that while they are action packed, they also take time to show us developed characters. So you get the best of both worlds. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is a very solid and enjoyable 4 out of 5 stars. The cliffhanger is great, the action scenes are phenomenal. A couple of subplots I could have done without, even though, again, they serve nice Easter eggs. We're going to see how part 2 comes. I'm excited for 2025. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, you can rent it on most digital platforms. There is no information regarding streaming services right now. Okay. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe and follow along with me the rest of the season. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and compare reviews with me on Letterboxd. I will see everyone tomorrow as we start to wrap up the rest of the Globes mostly week. And until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying, take a break and watch something new.